Welcome to the second annual Hall of Fame banquet. We are absolutely delighted that you have chosen to spend your Saturday evening with us to honor and celebrate a group of truly remarkable individuals, outstanding athletes, and a dedicated coach, a valued contributor, whose impact on our school is both lasting and inspiring. Before we begin tonight's program, we would like to invite one of our current students, Desiree Murray, to the stage to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. As she makes her way up, let me take a moment to tell you a little bit about our current student. Desiree is a senior at Winter Haven High School and a standout member of our Lady Blue Devil track and field team. As she prepares to begin her fourth year with the program, Desiree has already built an impressive athletic resume. She is a two-time first-team all-county athlete, having placed 6th in the 100-meter dash at the 2024 FHSAA track and field finals and earning the title of state runner-up in the 100-meter dash in 2025. In addition, she secured 5th place in the 200-meter dash in 2024, showcasing her speed and determination. Desiree is also part of the school record-holding 4x100-meter relay team, which placed 3rd in the state finals in 2024 and placed 4th in 2025 with an impressive time of 46.83 seconds. Her achievements have earned her FHSAA first-team honors in the 4x100-meter relay and third-team all-state recognition in the 100-meter dash. Please join me in welcoming Desiree Murray to the stage to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Desiree. Now we are honored to welcome Pastor T to the stage to offer tonight's invocation. Pastor T is a cherished member of our school community. He is a faithful supporter of all of our athletic programs and can be found at nearly every sporting event. He is, beyond his presence in the stands, Pastor T serves as a mentor to both students and staff, offering encouragement, guidance, and unwavering support. We are truly grateful for his dedication and his heart for our school, Winter Haven High School. Pastor T.
Thank you, Ms. Gina. Let's bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this beautiful day that we've experienced. We thank you for this magnificent night. We thank you for these exceptional people that we are going to honor tonight. Father, I pray a blessing upon these ceremonies. I pray a blessing upon each and every person that's here tonight. Father, Lord, I pray that you have your perfect will and your perfect plan be accomplished through our service tonight. Father, I pray a blessing to this food. Bless this food to nourish it to our body. In Jesus' name, everyone said. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor T. We are so grateful for your continued support and presence in our school community, Pastor T. At this time, please feel free to begin enjoying your salad course as we continue with this portion of the program. I'd now like to take a moment to recognize some special guests who are with us this evening. When I call your name, please stand so we may acknowledge you. Mayor Pro Tem Brian Yates. Staff Attorney for Polk County Public Schools, Mr. Chad Davis. Thank you for being with us tonight. We are honored by your presence and thank you for your support for our students and our school. Tonight, you'll witness the incredible talents of our teachers and students. The videos you'll see throughout the evening were filmed and directed by Pamela Mizell, our teacher at Winter Haven High School. Without her creativity and dedication, this program would not be possible. Her students assisted us in editing the footage, and some of our Blue Devil television students are here with us this evening, filming this event so that it can be shared on YouTube in the coming weeks, after editing, of course. Mrs. Mizell, please stand to be recognized. Dinner this evening is being catered and served by our Cafe Blue. These are our students that are serving you tonight. And they're under the direction of our wonderful teachers, Betsy Zinsmeister and Jordan Isaacs. We learned at the last minute that Jordan Isaacs had a wedding to attend, so his twin brother, Josh Isaacs, graciously stepped in to assist us tonight. They are actually past Winter Haven High School graduates and ended up going to Johnson & Wells and becoming chefs themselves. But now we have one of them back as a teacher. Since they are currently occupied, we will wait till the end of the program to recognize our teachers and students. Now, to begin our celebration, we invite you to enjoy this video produced and edited by our television students. And of course, the name of the video is The Haven.
This is my life.
Beauty for life, making sure people know. Teachers helping generations, giving us an education. Yeah, I love the dedication, even through the frustration. Setting up my future, see how far we could go. We all gotta rise above the status quo. Yeah, you know. We got Herb on math, Cariffy with science, Barney on lit, soaring high, we flying. Beauty for life.
Got my brothers and my sisters screaming in my ear. It makes it really hard for me to think clear. What should I do? Where should I go? Voices bouncing in my head, but the ball is all I know. They told me pick the best, so the Haven's where I grow. I'm a Cambridge scholar. Got my future on lock. Late night grinding, rising straight to the top. You know why.
This is my life.
Now before we begin, I'm not a rapper, but I hope y'all understand.
It only happens at the Haven.
My destiny is where the cash is at, so I take a couple classes to see where I'm at. My inspiration's for real, to see me walking across that stage, getting that diploma in my hand, rocking that blue. And gold, you know it runs in my veins. Gotta get them 24 credits, they say no pain is no gain. I reside at the Haven, where Blue Devils rise and shine, on the field and on the court, and even brighter in our minds. Blue Devils run the town, and soon throughout the nation. Do you remember the Titans? Now remember the Haven. Dedicate this to Miss Williams, you know that we love you. Senior class 2025. You know we gonna miss you. The Haven is a family, we made of many nations. White, black, Puerto Rican, shout out to my Haitians.
Through the lows and the highs, we conquered the game. Every moment a spark in our Blue Devil names.
Through the halls where we learned,
To the courts where we played, Winter Haven molded.
the moves that we made, learning to rise.
And learning to strive, turning setbacks into lessons, that's what kept us
We
alive.
built a legacy, now we carry the flame. Even though life has changed,
We'll always be the same.
Just know Blue Devils run the nation. Blue Devils run the nation. This is my life.
Thank you to our incredible Blue Devil television students for that powerful video. Your creativity and dedication continuing to inspire us all. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our Masters of Ceremony for this evening. Last year, he was one of our inaugural inductees into our first annual Hall of Fame, and tonight he returns to celebrate this year's honorees. Keith Brantley is an American former professional long-distance runner who proudly represented the United States in the men's marathon at the 1996 Summer Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia. finishing 28th out of 111 runners with an impressive time of 2 hours and 18 minutes. Mr. Brantley is an 8-time United States National Road Racing Champion, showcasing an extraordinary range of talent across the 10K, 20K, 25K, and marathon distances. His achievements have earned him national recognition, including a feature on the cover of Runner's World magazine and an appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show. We are honored to have him with us this evening. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Mr. Keith Brantley.
I like that. Thank you, Principal Williams. My dad would never allow me to call, no matter how familiar I am with you, anything other than Principal Williams. My dad was a teacher. I'll get into that later. As an inaugural Hall of Fame member of the Winter Haven High School Athletics Hall of Fame, I'm honored and humbled to introduce the 2025 class. I think it's so important to recognize this class because, again, it's the second class. But when I looked through this list of athletes, it was stunning, absolutely stunning. But first, I want to start out by highlighting two of our notable contributors, one of our contributors and one of our coaches. We're going to play a video for Coach Jim Morrison and Dr. LaRue, who is our individual contributor. So you want to roll the videos?
Good evening. My name is Coach Harry Waddell, and I am here tonight to present Coach Jim Morrison for his induction into the Winter Haven Athletic Hall of Fame. Jim Morrison was born and raised in Morehead, Kentucky. His mother was an employee at Morehead State University. His father was a Korean War veteran. It is stated that we shape our goals and our values from the experiences that we encounter in growing up. Jim's father was diagnosed with a crippling disease that left him disabled and bedridden. Through my conversations with Jim over the years, I learned how difficult this was for him to grow up with a disabled parent. He learned early in his life about overcoming adversity. Jim Morrison was a great basketball player at Breckenridge High School in Morehead, Kentucky. His mother encouraged him to go to college and get a degree. After graduation from high school, he signed a basketball scholarship to Florida College in Tampa. After 2 years, he decided to go back to his beloved Morehead State University to finish his basketball career under Coach Jack Shallow and get his degree. At Morehead State, there was a famous president named Dr. Adrian Dorn. Dr. Dorn always challenged the graduates of Morehead State to be special. He encouraged the graduates to not just sit on their college degrees, but to lead and make a difference in people's lives. In the summer of 1982, Jimmy Morrison's life changed forever. As he was walking down the street in Morehead, Kentucky, an automobile pulled up and stopped. In the car was the late coach, A.L. Buck Dawson. Coach Dawson asked Jimmy what he was doing now. Jimmy said he was looking for a job. Coach Dawson told him that he could get him a teaching and coaching job in the school district in Polk County, Florida. In the 80s, several Morehead graduates migrated to the school district of Polk County for teaching and coaching jobs. Several of the Morehead graduates were recommended for teaching jobs by Coach Dawson. The Morehead alumni referred to him as the Godfather. In the fall of 1982, Jim Morrison headed south to Polk County, Florida, True to his word, Coach Dawson got Jim his first job, teaching physical education at Janie Howard Elementary in Lake Wales. He was also named an assistant basketball coach at Haines City High School. Jim Morrison would also serve as an assistant basketball coach at Polk State College in 1984. In 1985 through 1987, he was an assistant basketball coach at Winter Haven High School under Gary Goss. In 1988, he was named the head basketball coach at Frostproof High School. Finally, he was a head coach. During his time at Frostproof High School, his teams had very successful seasons and won several district and region championships. In the summer of 1993, Principal Mike Tucker at Winter Haven High School selected Jim Morrison to be the head basketball coach at Winter Haven High School. The program had been dormant for several years, but in 1995, Coach Morrison's basketball team advanced to the Florida 6A State Championship Final Four in Tallahassee. The team was led by Jamie Phillips, who broke the legendary Otis Birdsong's all-time scoring record. During his time, the boys basketball program won 2 district and 2 region championships. It was once again one of the elite programs in the state of Florida. The goals of Coach Morrison were achieved. He had 207 wins as a head coach at Frostproof and Winter Haven High School. He was the FACA District Coach of the Year 3 times and the Lakeland Ledger Coach of the Year 2 times. In 2000, Jim accepted the position as athletic director at Winter Haven High School. Under his leadership, Winter Haven Athletics achieved a level of success that was never before experienced in Blue Devil history. He ensured their teams had the support and the tools to achieve their goals. In 2003 and 2004, Coach Morrison returned to coaching basketball at Winter Haven while serving as athletic director. It was also under his leadership as athletic director that Winter Haven Blue Devil athletic teams made 14 Florida High School Athletic Association Final Four appearances. Winter Haven High School was the 2004 and 2010 Polk County All-Sports champions. In the 11 years Jim Morrison was athletic director, the athletic program finished as one of the top 3 high schools in the Polk County All-Sports program each of those 11 years. Pretty impressive record as an athletic administrator. The girls basketball team won 2 5A state championships. The baseball team had 2 state runner-up finishes. The boys basketball team had 2 Final Four appearances and 2 state runner-up finishes. The football team had 6 state playoff appearances. Jim Morrison accomplished a challenge that Dr. Adrian Dorn made 45 years ago. He heard what Dr. Dorn said. He led and made a difference in countless number of young people's lives at Winter Haven High School. Success is not how much money you have, what type of car you drive, or how big of a house you live in. Success is what you had to overcome in your life. Did you make a difference in other people's lives? Coach Jim Morrison made a difference. I am honored and I'm proud to present the distinguished coach, proven athletic administrator, and my friend, Coach Jim Morrison, for his induction into the Winter Haven High School Athletic Hall of Fame. Thank you.
It's an honor to be inducted in Winter Haven High School Hall of Fame. There are several people I would like to thank and recognize. My wife Jenny for all her patience and support over the years. My boys Tanner and Tyler for their support. My parents David and Annalie Morrison for their guidance and sacrifices. Coach Buck Dawson for bringing me and my family to Polk County. I had the honor of working for 2 of the best principals in the history of Winter Haven High School, Mike Tucker and Gina Williams. And I'd like to thank all the coaches and student athletes I have worked with throughout my career. I'd like to end this by saying, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct honor to introduce Dr. Eric LaRue for the recognition of his service to Winter Haven High School. He will be inducted into the Hall of Fame as a benefactor. We most certainly benefited from your love of our school. I told my wife about Doc's award, and she said he was the embodiment of the slogan, Blue Devil for Life. Yes, Doc is a Blue Devil for life. Doc has dedicated his life to serving Winter Haven High and its community. Doc is a product of our local public schools, as he attended Brigham Elementary, Denison Junior High, and Winter Haven High School. He received his doctorate of medicine from South Alabama and returned to Winter Haven to serve his community. He went into practice as a local pediatrician, loved his wife Chris, and raised 5 wonderful children who are making him one proud grandpa. But while all that was happening, he became our team doctor. Dr. LaRue has been roaming our sidelines on Thursdays and Friday nights, both home and away, for almost 4 decades. His presence has provided protection for our players and reassurance to our parents. His service, his time, his expertise, his love of children has allowed all of us the opportunity to simply enjoy our participation in the game. Thank you, Doc. Thank you for allowing us to do what we loved, knowing you had our backs. It is my great honor to welcome into the Winter Haven Hall of Fame a legend of service and spirit, Dr. Eric LaRue.
Again, I'm very proud to be here tonight. What a delight to be around such great people who are being inducted to the Hall of Fame as well. Again, I cannot thank the committee enough, Ms. Williams enough. I also would like to thank my family and my incredible wife, Chris, for allowing me to take many nights away from the family to be able to enjoy the athletes that we have been able to hopefully help out. She's been incredible, the kids have been incredible, and all the other people who've really been around us to support us and help us. From the beginning with Dr. Lerner and his colleagues, we've had incredible support from Dr. Larry Paget in providing trainers and services, as well as Dr. Paul Moran from the Bond Clinic and many other doctors in town. Most of all, the good Lord has a way of putting people where they need to be, and we feel like that's what He's done in our life with Winter Haven High School. So again, thank you very much for having me and for inducting me into this incredible group of people. Thank you.
Well, I don't know about you, but that was an incredible start. 2 wonderful people, wonderful contributors to the athletic program at Winter Haven High School. We're going to have dinner, which I'm starving to death. We've got a fantastic catering company. It's our catering company, Winter Haven Cafe Blue, and I am so excited to have dinner. So we'll have dinner, and then we'll start the program, and we'll get things moving. Thank you very much. Thanks again, Cafe Blue, for wonderful dinner. Again, thank you, Principal Williams, and your staff for putting together, Pam Mizell for putting together this wonderful evening, and all the support from all the volunteers and the Blue Devils out there. Welcome. As a member of the inaugural Winter Haven High School Athletics Hall of Fame, I'm honored and humbled to introduce the 2025 class. And while all athletes and coaches who have competed and led teams for Winter Haven High School have a kinship, enshrinement in our school's Hall of Fame creates a tie and special relationship between us. Not just because of our outstanding performances during our competitive years at Winter Haven and beyond, but because our great performances and contributions have stood the test of time, may never be equaled, and inspire all who have followed us in competitive athletics at Winter Haven High School. Gary, Andre, Amber, Cheryl, Dwight, Tommy, Dr. Ho, Jordan, Coach Morrison, and Dr. LaRue, welcome and thank you for your contributions to Winter Haven High School. Now, I think it's important that I give you some context as how I got here as Master of Ceremonies. Earlier this year, I received a call from Coach Waddell telling me that Rick Dantzler had a conflict and wouldn't be able to serve as the master of ceremonies for the Hall of Fame in October. To which I responded, "Man, Coach, that's a huge voice to fill. Rick did an awesome job last year." I said, "Do you want me to help find someone to replace Rick?" Coach said, "Well, Keith, I think we found somebody." I said, "Great, Rowdy Gaines, Otis Birdsong?" He said, "No, you." I said, "You who?" He said, "You, that's who." And I said, "Coach, come on, there's no way I can speak as eloquently as Rick Dantzler, and certainly not well enough to sufficiently herald our 9 Hall of Famers." And Coach said, "Keith, I've heard you speak. You'll do a great job. Just be yourself." Coach, you've never stopped convincing me that I could accomplish great things despite my fears and doubts. Like that November day in 1979 in DeLand, when you and Coach Dawson convinced me that I could win the Florida State High School Cross Country Championships and defeat Largo's Basil McGee, who owned me throughout the regular season. You convinced me to start out at an almost suicidal pace, run up an insurmountable lead, and hang on for the victory. And that plan worked to perfection. And after nearly 500 races during my 3 decades of competitive running, including national and world championships and Olympic Games, I've never run a more perfect race than I did that day. Thank you. Like then, tonight, Coach, I'll try my best. And while we're gathered tonight to celebrate the incredible athletic achievements of our coaches and athletes, we must never lose sight of the fact that Winter Haven High School is first and foremost an academic institution that just happens to have a great athletic program. The educators and administrators at Winter Haven High School are dedicated and devoted to preparing all athletes and students. I believe everyone in this room would agree that our educators and administrators carry the same passion to the classroom as our coaches do to the field of play. I know this to be true firsthand, as my dad, after retiring from the U.S. Air Force after 20 years, taught at Kathleen and Haines City High School, and later became supervisor of adult education programs at Polk County. And all that still didn't help my academic prowess. Despite the best efforts, I hope none of my teachers are in here. Okay. Despite my best efforts of my teachers and administrators of Winter Haven High, my dad's encouragement, and sometimes the belt, I was a terrible student. I was barely accepted at the University of Florida. But I will say my 4-year bachelor's degree was the best 6.5 years of my life. In fact, by the time I finished my bachelor's degree, a few of my Winter Haven classmates who started at UF with me were already finishing law school. Overachievers. To our inductees tonight, we are thrilled to celebrate your accomplishments and honor your legacy by inducting you into the Winter Haven High School Athletics Hall of Fame class for 2025. But what is a Hall of Fame? Growing up as a young boy in Lake Hamilton with a wild imagination, the first time I heard the term Hall of Fame, I envisioned a Hall of Fame to be literally a hall where enshrined athletes greeted visitors as they walked down this long hallway, hence the name Hall of Fame. Now you kind of get the picture of why my brothers would tease me saying, "Keith, you're at the shallow end of the family's pool." To which I responded, "Hey, you know what? We never had a pool when we were growing up." To which they clearly responded saying, "You're from the shallow end of the family's gene pool." Yes, growing up as the youngest of 4 boys helped me run fast, and life was more like a chapter out of the book of Lord of the Flies. By definition, though, an Athletics Hall of Fame is an institution that honors and preserves the legacy of outstanding athletes and coaches, contributors for their excellence in sports, with the purpose of celebrating an outstanding achievements, preserving the history of sport, and inspiring future generations. Now I want to stop right there. Let's think about those last 3 words, inspiring future generations. Why would young, talented athletes need inspiration? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the odds against reaching the level of success the athletes we are honoring tonight is staggering. Let me explain. Let me explain some of the statistics. And stick with me on this because I counted this on all 10 fingers. Do you know that only about 2% of all high school athletes go on to compete at Division I college athletic programs? Less than 0.05% of all junior tennis players under 18 will ever reach a professional top 1,000 ranking. A high school baseball player has a 0.0277% chance of making it to the major leagues. Only about stick with me on this, only about 0.0000017% of the world's population will make it to the Olympics. This resonates with me because I tried and failed to make our Olympic team 4 times, twice missing the team by 1 place. And in 1996, at age 34, I was the oldest American male to compete for the U.S. in the Olympic marathon. And an even more staggering statistic, because the Olympics are only held every 4 years, one estimate places the odds of a high school athlete growing up to win an individual Olympic gold medal is 1 in a billion. And as a reminder, one of our Winter Haven High School Athletics Hall of Fame brothers, Rowdy Gaines, won 3 gold medals in the Olympic Games and likely would have won more had we chosen to boycott the 1980 Olympics. And lastly, it is nearly impossible to quantify the odds of becoming a boxing welterweight world champion, much less a 2-time world champion. Exactly. Now I know the old saying, there are lies, damn lies, in statistics. But you get my point. In athletics, like in life, there are no guarantees of success, but the odds of success are greatly improved when we have individuals willing to invest their time and effort into that athlete's journey. And to this end, I've been told you never adjourn a meeting without action items. And I'll detail these action items for our new class, which I will leave for the end of our program. To the individuals we will enshrine tonight, Dr. LaRue, Coach Morrison, Andre, Dwight, Tommy, Jordan, Amber, Cheryl, Gary, you have brought great honor to your loved ones, your many fans, our community, and Winter Haven High School. Tonight, we are thrilled to celebrate your accomplishments and honor your legacy. And we will show the videos of each one of these athletes. Are we ready to go?
Hello, my name is Edson Berto, and I'm the oldest brother out of 7 of us. And I'm Andre, older brother, Andre Berto. He's the boxer, and when people talk about, the Bertos and stuff, they're talking about Andre, Cleveland, Nana, Sasha, and of course, you guys know Noah. Berto was he was a great athlete, and I'm not gonna say was, he's still a great athlete, and he competed in amateur boxing. He fought all over the place, and he's a great fighter. He was a great fighter, and he's still a great fighter. He went to the Olympic for Haiti, and he did a lot of things for the community. And of course, you know, my father was, he was a fighter. My father loved fighting. My father was the one that kind of introduced him to boxing. And Andre, when he was, you know, I'll say younger, he used to fight in school. And, you know, fighting, you don't want to get in trouble, especially in school. So my father kind of introduced him to, took him to a boxing gym. And he fell in love with it ever since then. Me and Andre, we have a lot of memories. We did a lot of stuff together, you know. We trained together, and we spar. So we did a lot of things together. What I could remember is that, every morning, my father used to wake us up. You know, used to wake us up to go running, and especially we used to go and run at park. And sometimes it'd be very, very cold, and then me and Andre, this is the thing that we used to do. That thing was so funny. In the morning, my father had to wake us up. So sometimes, you know, he have to call us like 5, 6, 7 times in order for us to wake up. And we'd be up, we just didn't want to get up at that time. And then sometimes, Andre used to be mad at me when I was gonna wake up and I told my dad, hey, it's time for us to go. And then Andre would be like, why did you wake him up? Because I didn't feel like going running, you know, that morning. So we did a lot of things together. I mean, tonight I'm very, very proud just, you know, of all of his accomplishment, because like I said before, I mean, he represents our whole nation, Haiti. He went to the Olympic for Haiti in 2004, and then when he got back from the Olympic, he competed as a professional boxer. He fought everybody that you could think of, you know, at that time. You know, when it comes to competition and stuff, he was not afraid to take the challenge, you know. So anybody that they put in front of him, Andre was willing to fight that person. So to the point where just because he was taking that risk, he became 2-time world champion. When I mean world champion, so that means he was the best at that division. And as an older brother, I am very, very proud of everything that he has done for the sport of boxing. And even after he retired, he still continue, you know, support the sport and help other kids that wants to get involved into boxing and stuff.
Hi, my name is Portia Berto, and I am Andre Berto's wife. I met Andre 15 years ago, and when we first started dating, we were getting to know each other, and he took me on a tour of Winter Haven. He took me to his elementary school, he took me to the boxing gym, he took me to where he had his first date, everything. He took me everywhere. And I just want to say this, if you're the kind of person that had a hard time in high school and you didn't like it that much, don't talk to Andre. Because when he rode me by Winter Haven High School, he had the most amazing stories. He's got the best memories. He had the best time. He was homecoming king, best all around, popular, most likely to yada, 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 all of the things. And I'm telling you, he still talks about high school like it was the greatest time of his life. And he's well traveled. He's been to the Olympics. He's been all over the world. He's a world champion, but nothing tops Winter Haven High School for him. He has the best memories. He has so many amazing things to say about this place and the teachers and the students, his friends, everybody that he grew up with. He just has the most amazing memories, and I feel like it's probably because he got so much support here. And he's such a disciplined person. He's so ambitious, and he's motivating, and he's the best person that I've ever known, which is why I married him. I just fell into that. I have no idea how that happened, but I did, and I'm so glad that I did, because he's truly special, and I really do believe that everything that he learned here and the support that he got from everyone, the principals, the staff, everyone, it really helped him, and it pushed him, and it made him great. And I appreciate him, and I appreciate you guys, and I just hope that he feels special. I'm glad that he is getting his flowers, and I just love him, and I just hope that he feels great about this, because he has impacted a lot of people, and he deserves it. He deserves everything.
Yo, what's going on? It's Andre Berto, and I just want to say thank you to the whole overall committee for this amazing award. I had a great time being a Blue Devil. Great times at the high school. I want to give a special shout out to Mr. Tucker, because I remember he used to always give me that permission slip to leave class and go to a lot of my tournaments, my world tournaments. And I still remember fighting in the U.S. championships and Mr. Tucker allowing everybody to stop their work, to stop everything, and turn it on to BDTV to watch me fight on ESPN to fight and win the U.S. championships. And that was amazing, man. That was amazing. I always got, tremendous support, from all the teachers. And of course, Mr. Tucker and all my other friends as well. I won homecoming king of, Winter Haven High School. So I had a great time. Great memories. Everybody continued to stand behind me and kept me focused and kept me motivated. They seen a lot of potential in me. Sometimes where I didn't even see it in myself at the time. Just everybody continued to push me and to make sure I set my sights on my goal, and that was to go to the 2004 Olympic Games and be able to turn pro and become a boxing world champion. And of course, just over the years, it's been so much. I've accomplished so much, man. I want to give a lot of gratitude to, of course, my people over at Winter Haven High School, all the teachers, the whole administrative staff, all my friends at Winter Haven High School, and I just appreciate everybody for this award. This is definitely an honor, and I will put it right next to my world title championship belts, up on the throne at home for me. So I appreciate everybody.
Good evening. My name is Coach Harry Waddell, and I am here tonight to present Dwight Frazier for his induction into the Winter Haven High School Athletic Hall of Fame. In the summer of 1984, Principal Gorman Ayers selected me to be the head track coach at Winter Haven High School. I quickly realized that Dwight Frazier was a special athlete. Dwight's first meet of the 1985 track season, his senior year, was at the Wildcat Open in Winter Park, Florida. He broke the meet record in the 220-yard dash in his first meet of the season. The record stood for 20 years until several years later when we eventually changed to meters in track and field in the state of Florida. As the 1985 track season progressed, Dwight quickly rose to the top of the prep sprint field in the state of Florida. He was undefeated in the 100 and 220-yard dash in Florida. Dwight was upset at the 1985 state 4A track meet in the 100-yard dash by the legendary Sammy Smith of Apopka High School. There was no shame in finishing second. The top 3 speed states in high school track and field in the United States are Florida, Texas, and California. Sammy Smith went on to Florida State University to a stellar career in football and was later drafted in the first round by the Miami Dolphins. As we were approaching the 220-yard dash at the state meet, which was Dwight's premier event, I was taking my place in the top row at the finish line at Showalter Field. I was approached by a man who asked me, "Aren't you the little track coach from Winter Haven High School?" I said, "Yes, sir, I am." I noticed money stacked up, lying on the top row of the bleachers. I had heard about the betting that went on at the state track meet at Showalter Field. I was experiencing it firsthand. He said to me, "Can Frazier beat Michael Tipson?" Michael Tipson was a great athlete from Miami Hialeah Lakes High School. He signed a football scholarship to Penn State University and was later drafted in the 4th round by the New England Patriots. I said to him, "Where are you from?" He said, "I'm from 305. I said, "Well, I'm from 863 and nobody has beaten him up there." Michael Tipson beat Dwight in a photo finish. Again, no shame in finishing second. Dwight's only 2 losses in the track season were to future pro football players. As the 1985 track season came to an end, the Winter Haven 440-yard and 880-yard relay team of future Olympian Ken Brokenborough, Winston Moore, Jonathan Pig Harvey, and Dwight Frazier were selected to run in the Golden South Track Classic in Winter Park. Some of the best high school track athletes in the United States competed in this meet. As the lane assignments was given out, Winter Haven was placed in lane 8 in the 440 and 880 yard relay. For non-track fans, lane 8 is given to the slowest entry in the race. Talk about being disrespected. What did the Big Blue do? They won both events at the Golden South Track Classic and were nationally ranked in the United States in those relay events in 1985. The summer after his high school graduation, Dwight was invited to participate in the Keebler International Prep Meet in Chicago. He finished in the 100 and 200 yard dash. He finished 6th. The top high school sprinters throughout the United States and the world competed in this event. Dwight was selected a high school All-American in track and field in 1985. As a farmer brings his cows in to feed them daily, there will be a lead cow called the boss cow. It will be one cow in the front, and all the other cows will follow the boss cow to the feeding trough. Winter Haven High School track and field developed a tradition of Sprinter Haven in the 80s and the 90s. Dwight Frazier and the 1985 440-yard relay team started this tradition. They were the boss cow. All the other great sprinters and relay teams in Winter Haven High School history followed them. From 1985 through 1996, Winter Haven had a nationally ranked high school sprinter and relay team each year during this time. Dwight is still the school record holder in the 200 meters. Dwight signed a football and track scholarship to North Carolina State University in 1985. While at NC State, he was coached by the legendary former United States Olympic track coach, Curtis Fry. Dwight was a 3-time All-American in track and field at NC State. He is still a current member of the all-time school record holder in the 4x100 relay. He was a three-time All-ACC track selection indoors and a 4-time All-ACC outdoor track selection. He competed in the United States Outdoor National Track Championships in 1987 and 1989. In 1988, he competed in the United States Olympic Track and Field Trials in Eugene, Oregon. After the completion of his track career at NC State, Dwight returned home to Winter Haven. He was my assistant track coach from 1990 through 1995. Dwight's coaching responsibilities were the sprints and relays. I had complete confidence in him. In 1994, we won the 5A State Track Championship. Our 4x100 relay team were the 5A State champions, Golden South Track Classic champions, and we capped it off by winning the Golden West National Championship. Dwight Frazier did an excellent job while he was an assistant track coach. It would not have been possible without Dwight Frazier. He was named the first head track coach at Lake Region High School in 1996. He would later coach at Lake Wells High School and serve as an associate head track coach at Weber International University. Today, Dwight is an assistant principal at Frostproof High School. Of all the awards and honors Dwight Frazier has won in his life, he is an even better human being. I am honored and I'm proud to present my sprinter, coaching colleague, and friend, one of Winter Haven High School's greatest champions, Dwight Frazier, for his induction into the Winter Haven High School Hall of Fame.
Good evening, I'm Dwight Frazier. I'm very happy to be inducted into the Winter Haven High School Athletic Hall of Fame. But first of all, I want to thank God for being here today. Next, I want to thank my family and my friends for their support. Next, I want to thank all the coaches that supported me, especially Coach Waddell, for coaching me and hiring me, then teaching me some of the tricks and trades about track and field. And last, I want to thank, I want to thank Gina Williams and the Winter Haven Hall of Fame, Athletics Hall of Fame Committee, And I also want to thank some of my track runners. We had some great times together. Basically, I just wanted to let everyone know that when I was coaching, I also tried to give some of my runners some life tips, like track. One of the best tips was, I like to tell my guys, when you're running, never look back. Always look forward. When you look back, you lose the stride, you're looking at the past. Look forward, never quit. Always run through the finish line. Never slow down. As long as you're looking forward to the future, you'll do good. For his track, I've had some great experiences running in high school under Coach Waddell, in college with Coach Curtis Fry. I went to the Olympic trials in '88. I've experienced there. Actually, I was there when Florence Griffith Joyner broke the world record. I was right there at the finish line. So I've been around a little bit. I've ran and I've had a great time. Life really doesn't owe me anything. Now I'm coaching my son and having a great time with him. So if anything I can help anyone do, I'm always ready to help out.
Hi everybody, my name is Chris Colony, class of 1991, Go Big Blue. I'm here to introduce Tommy Ho into the Winter Haven Hall of Fame. Tommy and I have been best friends since we were 3 years old, and while he wasn't traveling, breaking world records in tennis, he would come back here and we'd go out in the Chain of Lakes and be normal teenagers. One great story I have to tell is Sport Goofy tournament when he was 12 years old. It's the World Championship over at Sport Goofy in Orlando. And it was he, his father, Dr. Ho, and myself traveling real fast down 27 with his sunroof down. And unbeknownst to us, there was a cop behind us trying to pull us over for many miles. And Tommy's just trying to get to the finals of this World Championship tournament. And the cop finally pulls us over and basically wants to throw us all in jail. And time's ticking. He's got his finals, again, the World Championship match. We finally get out of the trouble and he gets a ticket or whatever. And he barely gets to the tournament, goes out there and destroys the #1 from Japan. I think his name was Arata Ito, 6-1, 6-1. It was unbelievable. But that's just a testament of how Tommy could focus, his determination to win, task-oriented. He was just able to get the job done under any circumstance. It didn't faze him. The greatest thing about growing up with Tommy and his tennis ability was knowing that my best friend was the absolute best junior tennis player in the world. I believe he still holds a lot of those titles today. But Tommy, congratulations. We're proud of you. Your whole crew's proud of you. And congratulations.
My name is Rhonda Ho, father of Tommy Ho. I'm proud to introduce our son as an inductee to Winter Haven High School Sports Hall of Fame. I could see Tommy's passion for the game at an early age. When Tommy was 9, I met Rick Macy. They worked together every day. Within 18 months, Tommy Ho climbed from the 102 state of Florida to #1. Within 2 years, become #1 in the nation in single and doubles. In 1988, when he was 15, Tommy became the youngest player to compete at the U.S. Open. Tommy's accomplishment and who he is today would not be possible without Principal Bowman Ayers and his staff. Without their support, Tommy would have missed the high school experience. When Tommy was in junior, he had to play in Japan for 3 weeks. His high school teachers worked with him to ensure he was keeping up with his class. I want to thank the Winter Haven High School staff and committee for supporting and recognizing my son. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Tommy Ho. Hello, fellow Blue Devils. I'm sorry I could not be there in person, but I'm honored to be inducted into the Winter Haven High School Sports Hall of Fame. When I received the call, I was overwhelmed with gratitude because there have been so many exceptional athletes that have attended Winter Haven High. The ability to excel in any sport takes a village, not just individual talent, and I wanted to recognize a few that were highly impactful for me on and off the court. First, my parents. They came to this country from Taiwan with $50 in the late 60s and decided to settle in Winter Haven in the early 70s. Aside from raising 3 boys, they found a way to provide the resources and opportunities for me to accomplish my dreams. Back then, tennis required excessive travel in the US and abroad at a young age. Second, I wanted to thank Principal Gorman Ayers and the faculty. They were supportive of my tennis journey, providing the flexibility and support for me to have a normal high school experience while pursuing my dream. In closing, I wanted to thank the Hall of Fame committee once again for this unexpected honor. To the current Blue Devil athletes, I leave you this parting advice. Enjoy the journey, be fully present in everything you do, and aim for just 1% improvement every day.
Hello, my name is David Schaefer. I'm the current high school baseball coach here at Winter Haven High School, and I have the honor of introducing Hall of Fame inductee Jordan Schaefer. When Jordan was 13 years old, he was named the #1 player in the United States by Baseball America. He played here at Winter Haven, and he went to the state finals 4 years while he was in high school. He today still currently holds the stolen base record for the state of Florida. In 2005, he was drafted by the Atlanta Braves. During his time with the Braves, he led all of minor league baseball in hits in 2007. In 2009, he was the starting center fielder for the Atlanta Braves, and he is the 99th player in the history of Major League Baseball to hit a home run his first professional at bat. During his playing career, he played for the Atlanta Braves, the Houston Astros, the Minnesota Twins, St. Louis Cardinals, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the San Francisco Giants. It is my great honor to introduce Hall of Fame inductee Jordan Schaefer.
Hi, I'm Jordan Schaefer, and I just want to take a moment to say how incredibly blessed and what a great honor it is to be here tonight. I want to thank the Winter Haven High School Hall of Fame Committee for voting me in, and it truly means a great deal to me, not only to myself, but to my family, my pops, my wife's super excited. I want to thank Coach Saliba, Coach Miller. Ever since I transferred here my sophomore year, they welcomed me with open arms. They pushed me on and off the field. They always demanded the best out of me, and that really helped push me on going on forward in life. I'd like to thank my teammates, many of which I am friends with still to this day, 2 of which I was lucky enough to stand up as the best man at their wedding. One that's here tonight in Joshua Taylor. Just great lifelong friendships that I'll hold near and dear to my heart. Man, they pushed me, held me accountable, and I'm forever grateful for that. I would like to thank my wife and my daughter, which obviously they weren't around then, but I always say the second biggest decision you make in your life after following the Lord is choosing your life partner, and I got that one right. She supports me. She's given me the greatest gift in the world, and our little girl Beckham. And it's an honor to be able to share this with her, and one day be able to show my my daughter that Daddy was okay at something. I want to thank my parents, my sister. I really want to take a moment and thank my dad. It's a lot of work, and people don't see behind the scenes of how much work really goes into it. They only see what's on TV or the glam and the glory and whatnot, and not the 4 o'clock in the morning workouts before school and the crying and the tears and the ups and the downs. And he was there for all of it. And I just want to thank him from the bottom of my heart. These kids that are here now, they get to see a little bit of what I got and how much he cares about them. And none of this would be possible without him. And I would not be the man I am today or be where I am today without him. So I want to thank him and just tell him I love him. Thank you to everybody that got me to this point. And I'm beyond blessed and very grateful to be here tonight. So thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Coach Gibson. I'm the athletic director at Winter Haven High School. I had the pleasure of coaching Amber Smith from 2003 to 2007. If I could describe Amber in one word, it would be a competitor. Amber wanted to be the best, and her work ethic showed. Following a great high school career in which she was the 4-time team captain, 2-time state champion, and the Legend Player of the Year, Amber's hard work paid off by earning a full scholarship to the University of Kentucky. After being a multi-year starter, Amber took her talents to the coaching ranks. As an assistant coach, she made coaching stops at University of Kentucky, La Tech, University of Tennessee, and Indiana University. With that being said, Amber Smith is undoubtedly the best point guard to ever walk in the halls of Winter Haven High School, and well deserving of this honor. Amber, I'm proud of you.
I am extremely honored to be inducted into the Winter Haven High School Hall of Fame. When I received the call, I almost cried. I was floored, and I'm just thankful to be in great company with people that have been inducted before me, that are getting inducted today. Super, super grateful for this opportunity. This high school, it helped impact me and helped me become the person and the athlete that I became, that I am now. I'm super, super grateful to Ms. Williams, to Coach Gibson, Coach Johnny, Coach Rashad. Thank you all for pouring into me as an athlete. You all were super impactful, and I wouldn't be where I'm at today without you all. My family, my mom, thank you for sacrificing everything that you did in order for me to get where I am today. Thank you to my family, my fiance Jennifer and my daughter Maddie. Thank you all for your support, for being here. My sisters, my nieces, my nephew, I love you all so much, and you know what I have done up until this point has been for you all. I have wanted to make you all proud, and I'm just glad that this honor, and I hope this honor makes you all proud as well. But you know what I've been able to do with going on and playing at the University of Kentucky and making it to 2 Elite Eights, winning a SEC championship, going on and coaching at the Division I programs and winning more championships, it wouldn't be possible unless I came to Winter Haven High School. And I'm super, super thankful for this opportunity. I am honored and excited. Thank you all.
Hello, my name is Curtis Thomas, and I'm blessed to be Cheryl Covington Thomas's husband. I am honored to be able to introduce her and give her the recognition for this wonderful opportunity to be inducted into the Winter Haven Athletic Hall of Fame. I've been blessed to be with her for over 38 years. I had the pleasure of seeing her compete in high school as well as in college. And through all those times, I have been blessed and honored to see her dedication on the track as well as in our home, raising our wonderful children. And it is truly an honor that she is well deserved. And I just want to tell her congratulations for doing such a wonderful job over the years as an athlete, as well as a loving wife, as well as a loving mother.
Hi, my name is Trey Thomas. I am the son of Cheryl Covington Thomas, the newest Winter Haven Hall of Famer inductee. And I just want to say that my mother is one of the most genuinest, hardworking people that I have. I thank God that He blessed me with a mother, such as she. I know that me and my other siblings, I know I had a sister who ran track. We would not be where we are today without her coaching, without, her skill set, without her pushing us, to be the very best. I always said that we were never even though we've accomplished so much, me and my sister, we were never as great as she was. She accomplished so much in her, time here at Winter Haven High School, to come her senior year and to not only win the 100-meter dash, but to also win the 200-meter dash. I, always love to hear her tell, those stories, and to see, how she worked so hard to, go to Florida State University and compete at such a high level as she did, and, to pave a way, for us to work hard, to get to college, to, complete our dreams is such a blessing. She was our track coach, and we always called her the Joe Jackson of track and field when it came to coaching us, because she was so hard. I remember times where, we did not want to practice, and she would force us to practice on them Saturday mornings, and if you didn't get it right, she would tell you, okay, let's go home. We're going to try this again later in a hot afternoon sun. But I say all that to say that she is one of the most amazingest coaches ever, and without her, I would not be where I'm at today. So, congratulations, Mom. I love you so much, and you are so deserving of this.
Hello, my name is Sherry Covington, and I am Cheryl Thomas's sister. I am the 11th child, and she's the 14th child of 19 kids. And it is such an honor to be invited to give my sister this introduction into the Winter Haven Athletic Hall of Fame. I am so honored to be a part of this momentous occasion, and this is truly a great opportunity that she has accomplished. And Cheryl has always been very intentional. She has always been dedicated to whatever she puts her mind to, and she's been focused and driven. And I just say this couldn't have happened to a better person. She is just a wonderful sister. She's an awesome auntie. She is a wonderful mother to her children and a loving daughter to our parents. And I'm just grateful to have this opportunity to stand before you, or sit before you, be before you on this afternoon to congratulate my sister for such a great accomplishment. In our upbringing, Cheryl and I has always kind of been competitive. I used to run track years ago, and as we got older, we used to always, go back and forth as to who was better. Well, I guess you can see who was better. But anyway, I just wanted to say congratulations, Cheryl. You did it, and you deserve it, and I love you.
Good evening. It is such a privilege and an honor to be nominated for such prestigious award. I would like to thank the nomination committee. I would like to thank Mrs. Williams, the principal. I definitely want to thank God, my family, my husband, my loving husband, and the rest of my family. My name is Cheryl Thomas. I am the 14th out of 19 children. And, competing here at Winter Haven High School, it was such an honor. It was such a blessing. I came behind a lot of other great athletes. my sisters, Shirley Covington, which is Johnson now, and also my sister Sherry, who one of who introduced me earlier. So I was following in some big footsteps. I remember being a little girl and watching my sister Shirley compete. She had the record in the 200, and I was bound and determined to break that record. And it took me a while, but by my senior year, I finally made that record crumble. But it was my parents, my dad, who was an athlete in his own right. He paved the way, and then my sisters, they came along, and I wanted to be as good. I wanted to be better than my sisters, and I just remember, going to the state meets. I remember watching my sister Sherry compete. I remember when she competed against Michelle Finn, which is another Olympian. Just how I looked at my sisters as being some of the fastest athletes, not just in Polk County, but in the state. And I just could remember saying, I want to be like them. I want to be like them. Even as a little girl, I just remember getting out on the track after the track meets, and I would pretend like I was racing, and so they paved the way for me to be the athlete that I was. I just remember how when we didn't have middle schools, we had junior high schools, so it was 8th and 9th grade. So I remember being at Denison and being in the 9th grade. I couldn't wait to get to the high school. When I finally got to the high school, I was ready. I was ready to compete. The unfortunate thing is I didn't have the coaches that some of the athletes have today, but I was bound and determined. I wanted to be a state champ, and I just remember just watching Coach Woodell, and even though we didn't have a solid coach, but I remember watching Coach Woodell, and there were sometimes I would just do the same workouts as the boys were doing because I wanted to be good. I remember going to the state meet. I was so nervous as a high school sophomore. I was nervous, and I didn't see any of my family members. And then I heard a voice out of nowhere. It was my big brother, Brian Keith, and he called my name, and I perked up. And I ended up taking second place behind Jovini McDuffie. Even though I wanted to win, I was still ecstatic because she was a senior and I was a sophomore. And in my mind, I was coming back the following year and I was going to win. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. I got beat by a girl from Miami Northwestern. It broke me. But again, I was bound and determined to become a state champion. And so the following year, I put in even more work. And it was that time that I knew it was my time. I knew it was my time. I knew I had been working hard. And in the prelims that I set a new state record. So I knew I was ready, and even though if I had to go back and do it again, I probably wouldn't have gone to grad night, but I knew that I was ready. And even the 200 was not my better event. But again, after I won that 100, I felt like I was ready, to go on and compete in the 200. And one of the amazing things that came out of that state meet is that I hadn't gotten any major scholarship offers. But I don't know if anybody remembers Shannon Baker from Lakeland. He was up at Florida State and he taught me up. And I remember one of the coaches. He was down at the state meet down in Winter Park, and he had a scholarship, full scholarship with my name on it. And so I was just blessed. I was fortunate, to be signed to a full scholarship to Florida State. But this is where it all started at. It all started here at Winter Haven. And again, there was some, my sisters, my dad, my sisters, they paved the way for me to be the athlete that I was. And I count it a privilege and an honor to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. I don't take it lightly. It's not something that I'm boastful of. A lot of people ask, I didn't share with a lot of people initially, and they was like, that's a high accomplishment. And while I do recognize that, I do believe in being humble. I just believe that our works will speak for themselves. I don't have to brag. I don't have to boast, and that's always been my motto. And again, this is a privilege and an honor, and I do appreciate it and thank the committee once again.
Hello, my name is Larry Walker. I'm Gary's one of Gary's younger brothers. This is my brother Barry. We thought we would share some remembrances from Gary back in high school, maybe even some earlier days. But one of the things that I remember, I was in 9th grade when Gary was a senior, and I remember every Friday night when they would come home from the ball games, the next morning I would see his shoulder pads and all laying out on the driveway. And I would realize, man, it's been a lot of work the previous night and sweating and just getting ready for the next week. One of the other things that my dad and I used to do back in the late 60s, at practice every week at the field right here at the high school, there'd be 300 or 400 people watching practice and just realizing all the preparation for the coming week's game. Those are some of the things I remember, Barry.
Yeah, I was a little bit younger, but I just remember going to the games on Friday night, and I remember people, half of the places in Winter Haven would close down on Friday night because everybody wanted to go. Back in the 60s when Gary was playing, everybody wanted to go see the Blue Devils play on Friday night, and it was just amazing to grow up watching my big brother play football for Winter Haven Blue Devils.
I agree, and then obviously Barry played several years later for the Blue Devils. I played baseball at Winter Haven, and then fortunately we were all able to go on to college and get our education, and so it was a big step. I just remember all the hard work for the entire team, and Gary was one of the instrumental people there. Just a lot of work and preparation, but really it paid dividends for many years down the road, including now today. So we're glad to be here to help them celebrate this award.
Yes, I agree.
Hello, I'm glad to be here tonight. The purpose of the Winter Haven High School Athletic Hall of Fame, I think, is a fantastic, tremendous idea. We should have done it many years ago. There's a lot of dedicated, disciplined high school athletes that have gone through here and made changes in all kind of different sports, different records, and being recognized in this situation makes my heart humble. There's not many things that you can do where you can influence 10,000 people. And when we used to play back in the 60s with Flip Farnell and Bobby Downs and those guys playing, when we played, there was at times there was 10,000 people at the Winter Haven High School football field on Friday night, and there was not 10% of the people in Polk County at that time there are now. And I wanted to thank the sponsors, the people that have spent a lot of time doing it, and tell you, I've got a jersey that I wore at a game in the fall of 1966, and most of the time we wore blue, but it's packed up and I can't find it. All this going on, I want to thank, and when you start thanking people, it's a bad thing to do because I might leave somebody out, but Coach Calvin Triplett changed the mindset of the people of Winter Haven and the athletes of Winter Haven. He was an asset to Winter Haven that's beyond measure. Back then, every year Winter Haven had 8 or 10 or 12 guys go to college. They didn't all go to the University of Florida or Florida State or something, but they all went to college, and 90% of them came back to Winter Haven and brought that college education back into the school system or other workplaces. It was a tremendous uplift for the Winter Haven area. I also want to thank Coach Bill Duncan. He was our track coach. I ran track as a junior and a senior. He taught me how to run, how to do it. Coach Duncan never asked us to do something that he would not do, that he could not do. He did, a lot of times he did it with us just because he had so much want to go. Those kind of people influence your life forever. And when I was asked to do this, that's been one of my motivating forces. The ability to influence positively different age groups, different things. I've got to say, and I went to a good friend of mine funeral a couple years ago, Judge Seeley, that played football for Winter Haven, was a tremendous athlete, competitor. And I told him, I said, one of the things I want to do is like Judd did. When I leave this world, I want to know that I have made a difference here, that there's changes in people that are good for life, good for their problem. And recognition like this, I think, furthers that quicker than just doing it. And so I want to say thank you. That's not Coach Triplett, Coach Duncan, the running back coach there was a guy named Harvey Seligman. He was a good man. Later on became the president of a junior college in Mississippi. We had just a good group of guys. I could name every one of them, our offensive and defensive players, and every one of them good people. The people that's doing this now, Flip Farinella, I've watched him play. I was like my brother in the 9th grade when he was there. And Bobby Downs, a man that was inducted last year. The intestinal fortitude, the discipline and the determination that came from playing from Coach Triplett was a thing that changed the rest of our life. It made us a better student. It made us a better work person. It made us a better husband and brother and wife and father. When a lot of times now when you see in college football coaches talk, they talk about changing the culture at wherever they're at. That's what Coach Triplett did when he came here. He changed the culture, the mindset of the athletes, and in doing so, all them boys went home and changed the mindset of their family and everybody that they influenced. And the only thing you can do in this situation is be humble and thankful. And I appreciate the work and all that the people have done to get to where we're at tonight. And I want to say thank you.
Well, I don't know about you, but I am ready to go out and run a marathon right now. Anybody want to join me? The Covington family, you're incredible. I mean, just the amount of talent at that one table. I mean, you could make your own Olympic team. You know, I heard tonight, love being given to family and coaches. And I will just say that, anyone who's done anything in athletics, anything special in their life, has to understand that it is on the shoulders of giants. And I mentioned before we ran the videos that, I've been told you don't adjourn a meeting without some action items. And to make it easy, I have one action item for this class and one for my class last year. I mentioned that the staggering odds of young athletes aspiring to reach the pinnacle of their chosen discipline. Our goal as athletes and coaches should be to improve the odds and success of those of our youth. To our 2025 inductees, my class last year, 2024, and all of the Hall of Fame classes that follow, I believe we're not only a Hall of Fame, each one of us is a pillar and a bridge from the past to the future, created to help athletes aspiring to achieve the greatness we've earned. So my ask is that each of us find one opportunity to come back to our alma mater, one time per year, to remember those 3 words, to inspire future generations. Something as simple as a one-day clinic or a talk. Amber, I saw that you did a great 2-day clinic in July and August. I thank you so much. And I know that many of you are already embedded into the community here and you're doing things all the time for our community. But for the folks who live a little bit further away, I promise you I will come back. I failed in May because I had a travel glitch, but I will be coming back for that 5K, and I would challenge everybody to join me at that 5K in May next year. I know several of you in this class are already coaches, and again, I thank you for your contribution. As our Hall of Fame family grows, so will the strength and the length of that bridge that we are building, supporting young women and men on their athletic and life journeys. It's a small task, but with huge positive implications. So in closing, I'd like to have Principal Williams come up, and we're going to recognize each one of our Hall of Fame inductees one at a time. I'd like them to stand on the stage with us so that we can honor you and take pictures. So we'll start out with Dr. Eric LaRue. And you've got some swag, I'll tell you. That's great pictures and a jacket. It's wonderful. Well, excuse me. Dr. Lou, man standing here and waiting for a few minutes? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. James Morrison. Coach, come on in and join us. Andre Berto. Andre, you and I are going head-to-head on a 5K. That's about the only thing I can handle with you, all right? Dwight Frazier. You know, I love the new term, Sprinter Haven. I just think it's fantastic. Now, you had a distance runner here, all right? Let's not give up on the distance runners. Tommy Ho, Dr. Ho, please join us. Now, I got to tell you, I remember Tommy when I was, still living in Winter Haven, and I remember just what an incredible athlete he was. You just never saw him because he was competing against the world's best. Jordan Schaefer. I do want to tell a story just quickly about my baseball accolades. When I realized that I was a runner, my dad said, hey, listen, if you want to hit that baseball, you've got to watch that ball leave the pitcher's hand and watch it all the way till it gets to you. And I watched that ball coming at me, and I looked at it, and I looked at it, and it hit me right between the eyes. That's when I knew I was a distance runner. Amber Smith. Cheryl Covington Thomas. And Gary Walker. And I can say this, go Gators. Principal Williams, thank you so much for your guidance tonight. I want to thank Pam Mazzell for just an absolutely wonderful evening. Cafe Blue, what a great meal. Thank you very much. Awesome. All of the volunteers, the videographers, the photographers, putting together all these videos, folks, this is a heavy lift. And I'm sure they're going to be starting tomorrow for the 2026 class. Again, Principal Williams, I want to thank you so much. I think we're going to do pictures, is that right? Yep, and have you close us? Thank you.
Before you leave us, Mr. Brantley, we also have a jacket for you for Masters of Ceremony. Keith Brantley. I would also like the committee to please stand up. Flip Farinella, LaDon Gibson, Mandy Jarrett, Jeremy Lawhon, Jim Morrison, Harry Woodell. This is part of our committee. If you could please stand. And definitely we want to thank for such a wonderful and amazing meal our students and teachers, Cafe Blue. Please give them a round of applause. Now, at this time, we would like to end our ceremony with, of course, the alma mater. Everyone please stand. And after the alma mater, please feel free to take pictures of our inductees. Thank you. Please feel free to take pictures as they are standing in front of you. Thank you.